The oceans are some of the most terrifying places on Earth, vast, dark, and filled with monstrous creatures lurking below. No matter how much you love the water or enjoy diving, once you realize what truly lies beneath, you may never want to go underwater again. And if you already fear the sea, this will only make it worse. So if the ocean gives you chills, this is one video you might not want to watch. Number 20. Whale shark close call. Imagine being stalked by a massive creature in the ocean. One so enormous it barely fits into your frame of reference. In January 2022, Reddit user FancySwaberg posted a chilling image of himself while touring the Gulf of California, not realizing a massive shape was shadowing him. At first glance, it's unclear what the creature is, but its large size and presence are undeniable. Some Reddit users speculated it might be a manatee or dolphin, while others feared it could be a deadly predator like a great white shark. As the mystery deepened, Swaberg shared a second image, revealing the creature to be a whale shark, the largest fish on the planet. Whale sharks grow up to 60 feet long with enormous mouths that can cause concern for even seasoned divers. However, despite their size, these gentle giants are filter feeders, consuming plankton, not people. Their throats are too narrow to swallow a human, so even if you found yourself in the belly of the beast, you'd likely just be stuck, unable to escape. Still, that's one encounter you'd rather avoid. Number 19. The lion's mane jellyfish. The giant phantom jellyfish may be a formidable sight, but it is dwarfed by the colossal lion's mane jellyfish. Found in the frigid waters off northern Europe, these behemoths can grow up to 100 feet long. That's about the same length as the largest blue whale ever recorded. Stories from sailors in the North Atlantic describe massive, fiery red tentacles drifting just below the waves, stretching further than the eye could follow. Some divers have claimed that simply seeing one emerge from the gloom of icy waters is enough to leave them frozen in place, overwhelmed by its sheer scale. The tentacles themselves are made up of thousands of stinging cells, each capable of delivering a burning lash that lingers long after contact. Smaller fish and plankton stand no chance, ensnared in the jelly's living net as it pulls them toward its central bell. Even seals have been reported struggling to escape when caught in the sticky threads, highlighting the creature's power in its frigid domain. Sightings are rare because these jellyfish prefer the coldest depths, but when storms push them toward the surface, their otherworldly presence terrifies and fascinates beachgoers alike. The lion's mane is not just big, but deadly, too. With tentacles that can cause severe pain to anyone unfortunate enough to come into contact with them, this jellyfish takes the prize for being the most intimidating species in the ocean, combining both size and a fearsome sting into one terrifying package. Number 18. The whale watching surprise. Whale watching is a popular and exciting activity, but what if the whales were watching you instead? In 2018, a group of surfers off Dini State Beach in California found themselves in the midst of a fascinating yet unnerving encounter. A curious whale swam right up to them, rising to the surface just feet away and releasing a plume of mist from its blowhole. The surfers froze, caught between awe and a rush of adrenaline, as the enormous shadow of the whale passed directly beneath their boards. For a few tense seconds, it seemed as though the ocean itself was holding its breath, the surfers balancing on the water, while the whale's massive back broke the surface. Some described hearing a deep, resonant sound vibrating through the water, almost like the ocean humming. One surfer later admitted that he thought the whale might flip his board at any second, while another was too mesmerized to paddle away. The whale lingered, circling once before lifting its head just enough for its eye to break the surface, as though it was studying the strangers on its turf. The moment stretched on, surreal and intimate, before the giant slowly rolled away into deeper waters, leaving the surfers exhilarated and shaken by how small they felt. While gray whales are known for their inquisitive nature, the size and power of these animals can still be intimidating. They're more likely to be interested in feeding on small shrimp and seaworms than humans, but an unexpected face-to-face meeting with a creature that can grow up to 50 feet is enough to make anyone feel small. Number 17. Squid ink mass. In December 2023, Australian diver Jules Casey encountered something truly strange while swimming in the turquoise waters off the Mornington Peninsula. A black twisting mass floated in the water, changing shapes and creating an eerie spectacle. At first, Jules thought she was staring at some kind of living entity, the way the mass coiled and unfurled like a creature breathing in slow motion. Her camera captured the way it seemed to drift toward her, then split into smaller, writhing strands before reforming again, like smoke trapped underwater. Other divers watching from a distance were unnerved, one even muttering that it looked like a shadow trying to crawl out of the sea. For several minutes, the divers circled the strange sight, unsure if they were witnessing something biological or something otherworldly. The motion of the current only made the inky cloud seem alive, as if reacting to their presence. One diver reached out cautiously with a gloved hand, only to see the mass dissipate instantly, vanishing like a phantom into the turquoise blue. The unsettling spectacle left the team exchanging uneasy glances, silently wondering what had passed by just out of their sight. While it may look like a supernatural force, this inky formation was nothing more than a clump of squid ink. Cephalopods release ink to escape predators, a tactic that's harmless to humans, but adds to the sense of unease when seen floating in such an odd and haunting form. The real mystery, though, is what scared the octopus away in the first place. What lurks deeper beneath the surface? Number 16. The haunting Cryptid Lake. Not all ocean horrors are natural. Some are created by human hands. At the bottom of Cryptid Lake in Ballarat, Germany, you'll find an eerie post-apocalyptic landscape. What was once a chalk mine is now a submerged site with ghostly sunken trees and abandoned vehicles, all frozen in time. Some of the older original mine structures were left in place when the site was flooded in the 1970s, while more modern additions were placed over the years to create an unnerving diving environment. Adding to the spooky atmosphere is a massive lifelike replica of a great white shark positioned in such a way that from the right angle, it appears ready to devour unsuspecting divers. Despite its realism, however, this shark statue doesn't quite compare to another one found at the bottom of Holink Lake in Oregon. Now it's time for today's topic. Beachgoers in southern Chile were left stunned when authorities suddenly shut down an entire coastal stretch after the carcass of a massive unknown sea creature washed ashore. Measuring nearly 100 feet from head to tentacle, the creature bore features resembling a giant squid, but its size and anatomy went far beyond anything ever documented by science. Its leathery skin, thick and scarred, appeared ancient, while its massive eye, larger than a human head, left witnesses speechless. The discovery occurred in June 2025, when early morning walkers first reported the bizarre form tangled in seaweed and surf. Within hours, scientists and local police had cordoned off the beach with yellow tape, keeping curious onlookers at a distance. Researchers wearing protective suits began taking tissue samples, though no immediate explanation was offered. Marine biologists have cautiously suggested it could be a deep-sea giant brought to the surface by shifting currents, but some believe it may represent a prehistoric species thought to be extinct for millions of years. Others speculate that the creature's sudden appearance could be tied to recent seismic activity in the Pacific Ocean. For now, the official report remains sealed, but locals who saw it firsthand insist this was no ordinary giant squid. It was something far older, a reminder of the ocean's secrets that humanity has yet to uncover. Number 15. The terrifying bobbit worm. Imagine a creature that lives in total darkness beneath the ocean floor, moving like a shadow and ready to strike at a moment's notice. Meet the bobbit worm, a predatory creature found in the Atlantic and Indo-Pacific Oceans. This 10-foot-long sleek worm spends most of its time hidden in the seafloor, using sensitive antennae to detect vibrations from prey swimming by. When it senses movement, the worm strikes with lightning speed. Its jaws snap shut like a bear trap, dragging unsuspecting fish, crustaceans, and even octopuses into the sand, where they meet a swift end. It's an ambush predator of the worst kind. But that's not all. This creature's body is covered in venomous bristles that can cause intense burning pain and even permanent numbness if touched. The thought of stepping on the seafloor and encountering one of these silent assassins is enough to make anyone reconsider a beach day. With its horrifying appearance and lethal speed, the bobbit worm is one sea creature best avoided at all costs. Number 14. The tiger shark encounter. In May 2023, Hawaiian angler Scott Haraguchi was fishing from his kayak in the shallows near Kona, Hawaii, when he had an encounter he'll never forget. While casting his line, a 20-foot tiger shark suddenly rammed into his kayak, clamping its jaws around the side of the boat. Tiger shark. In an adrenaline-fueled moment, Haraguchi managed to shove the shark away with his foot, sending it off into the deep blue. It's believed the shark confused the kayak for prey, especially considering that a wounded seal had been seen in the area shortly before. Tiger sharks are notorious for their lack of discernment when it comes to food. Unlike great whites, which tend to bite and then retreat, tiger sharks are known for sticking around to investigate further, even if they've taken a bite of something that isn't on the menu. They have one of the highest numbers of recorded unprovoked attacks on humans, second only to great whites. You won't catch me floating in the open sea in a flimsy kayak as shark bait, that's for sure. Number 13. The goblin shark. What do you get when you mix folklore's most terrifying gremlin with the ocean's most feared predator? You get the goblin shark. With its distinctive retractable jaw that slides out from its face, this nightmare of the deep is enough to make anyone uneasy. Goblin sharks can grow up to 15 feet long and dive to depths of more than 4,000 feet, where they prey on whatever unlucky creature crosses their path. Despite their grotesque appearance and fearsome hunting capabilities, Goblin sharks have never been known to attack humans. Still, it's hard to ignore the sheer terror of its alien-like features. If you've ever thought deep-sea creatures couldn't get worse, the goblin shark proves otherwise. But believe it or not, there's another sea creature lurking in the depths that might just be even creepier, the megamouth shark. Discovered relatively recently in 1976, this creature can dive to mind-boggling depths of up to 15,000 feet. It's a filter feeder sifting through the water for plankton, but its eerie glowing mouth attracts its prey by reflecting light from bioluminescent plankton, luring them to their doom. Number 12. The Devil's Hole Whirlpool. In Greek mythology, the terrifying sea monster Charybdis was said to create deadly whirlpools that would swallow entire ships. While such stories were once dismissed as fiction, a real-life version exists, and it's just as frightening. In 2021, TikTok user Olivia Farray captured dramatic footage while on a jetboat tour near Sonora Island, British Columbia. The region is known for its turbulent waters, and the whirlpools formed by cross-flowing currents are a frequent occurrence. Locals have named one of these swirling vortices the Devil's Hole, and it's easy to see why. The powerful water spirals down into a dark abyss, resembling the mythical maw of Charybdis. The force of these whirlpools can be dangerous, and if you find yourself caught in one, escaping becomes nearly impossible. Maelstrom, the most intense and deadly whirlpools on Earth, can pull even the strongest swimmers under, trapping them with no clear direction to the surface. While experienced jetboat drivers can navigate these monstrous pools, the idea of being swept away in a kayak sounds like a nightmare. It's a terrifying reminder of the ocean's raw power hidden beneath the seemingly calm surface. Number 11. The Haunted Aquarium Discovery. For most people, aquariums offer a chance to experience the ocean's beauty from the safety of land. But for French urban explorer Jules Guex, an abandoned aquarium in Spain became the gateway to a chilling discovery. While exploring the forgotten building in 2022, Guex stumbled upon something truly disturbing. Inside one of the old broken tanks, she found the dried-out remains of a reef shark. This small creature had been preserved with chemicals, its body now decaying and taking on a grotesque zombie-like appearance. The condition of the shark was unsettling, with its once lively form now a shadow of its former self. Though it's unclear how long the shark had been left to rot in the tank, the sight was a stark reminder of how the ocean's creatures can be mistreated and forgotten. This eerie find may seem like an isolated case, but it serves as a reminder of the dark side of oceanic exploration, where even something as simple as an abandoned aquarium can hide secrets that make your skin crawl. Number 10. The Megamouth Shark. The megamouth shark is an underwater giant that could rival the goblin shark in terms of its unnerving quality. Discovered only in 1976, this strange creature is a deep-sea dweller known to venture to incredible depths of 15,000 feet. The name megamouth comes from its enormous gaping mouth, which it opens wide as it glides through the water, filtering plankton and small organisms. Its mouth has a silvery reflective coating that attracts plankton, drawing them into its cavernous throat like moths to a flame. As one of the rarer creatures in the ocean, there have been fewer than 300 reported sightings of the megamouth since its discovery. The largest specimen ever captured measured 23 feet in length, but who knows how large these deep-sea giants could actually grow. The more we learn about these mysterious creatures, the more unsettling the ocean seems. If you find the thought of these creatures unnerving, you're not alone. The megamouth's strange feeding habits and eerie appearance make it one of the most bizarre deep-sea creatures to ever be discovered. Number 9. The Black Sea Nettle. Jellyfish are already creepy enough, but some species are so terrifying they give you nightmares. The Black Sea Nettle is one such creature found in the Pacific Ocean off the western coast of Mexico. With its intricate lace-like tentacles, this jellyfish can grow to an intimidating 25 feet long. I don't know. Its sting is known to be painful, and watching its tentacles undulate in the water, as if they have a mind of their own, is enough to make anyone's skin crawl. This strange, otherworldly being is a perfect example of nature's ability to design something both beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. Number 8. The Lightless Depths. Did you know that sunlight only reaches about 9% of the ocean's total depth? To put it into perspective, visible light only penetrates around 700 feet deep in the water. That's a tiny fraction, just 2% of the ocean's entire depth, leaving the vast majority of the ocean in perpetual darkness. What lies in this abyssal blackness is something you might not want to know about. Deep in the ocean, creatures have adapted to thrive in a world without light, and some of them are straight out of a nightmare. Take, for example, the deep-sea hatchet fish. This horrifying little creature can be found at depths of around 3,000 feet. Its unsettling appearance with lifeless, bulging eyes that constantly scan the dark waters above is enough to give anyone chills. These eyes are adapted to detect even the faintest glimmer of light, helping the fish hunt in the inky blackness. While the hatchet fish is only 1 to 5 inches long, Its otherworldly look is a constant reminder of how alien and terrifying the ocean's depths can be. Just the thought of such creatures lurking in the darkness is enough to make anyone hesitant about venturing too far beneath the surface. Number 7. The kelp forests of Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, California is known for its stunning beaches, palm trees, and temperate waters. But before you take the plunge into the North Pacific to catch some waves, there's something you should know about what's lurking beneath the surface. The ocean floor here is home to enormous kelp forests, sprawling patches of seaweed that can grow up to 100 feet tall. These towering plants create an underwater labyrinth, a home to thousands of marine creatures from small fish to larger predators. Divers often compare the experience to wandering through an underwater cathedral, with beams of sunlight piercing the canopy in streaks of gold. Sea lions dart between the stalks with lightning speed, while harmless but intimidating leopard sharks cruise slowly through the shadows. The deeper you go, the darker and more surreal it becomes, and the swaying kelp can sometimes make it feel as if the forest itself is alive. Many swimmers report the uneasy sensation of being watched, unsure if it's a harmless fish or something larger, keeping track of them from the gloom. Some have even panicked when strands of kelp wrapped around their arms or legs, mistaking them for the grip of an unseen predator. Swimming through a kelp forest can feel disorienting, especially when visibility is low. The tall, swaying seaweed makes it easy to lose your bearings and become overwhelmed by the strange, eerie feeling of being surrounded. Imagine swimming at night in these waters, your foot accidentally brushing against one of the bristly kelp tendrils. There's no escaping that spine-chilling sensation. Though kelp forests may not be inherently dangerous, their ominous maze-like quality can be enough to trigger a sense of unease. Number 6. The saddle-tail grouper incident. You may be familiar with the fear of monstrous creatures lurking in the deep, but some ocean encounters are unexpectedly close to the surface. In June 2023, Australian diver Dean Kropp was exploring the Coral Sea off the northeastern coast of Australia when an unnerving event occurred. As he was enjoying the reef, a massive saddle-tail grouper swam up and attempted to devour him. The giant fish lunged forward with its cavernous mouth wide open, creating a sudden rush of water that nearly pulled Dean inside. For a split second, all he could see was darkness, the gaping maw of the predator blocking out the reef around him. The diver instinctively thrust his fins downward, kicking with every ounce of strength to push himself away from the powerful suction. His camera recorded the encounter, capturing the terrifying moment when it seemed the grouper could swallow him whole. Fellow divers watching from a distance later described the scene as like a horror movie playing out in real life. Dean managed to twist away at the last second, leaving the massive fish snapping its jaws on empty water. These groupers are carnivorous and can grow up to 6.5 feet long, which is certainly intimidating when you're face to face with one. While the grouper didn't manage to take a bite out of the diver, it's a stark reminder that some ocean predators may not distinguish between humans and their usual prey. This rare but startling encounter serves as a reminder that even seemingly peaceful waters can hide dangerous creatures, waiting for the chance to make a meal of whatever crosses their path. Number 5. The giant Pacific octopus encounter. If you're not already wary of the ocean's alien-like inhabitants, let me tell you about the giant Pacific octopus. In 2022, Canadian diver Andrea Humphreys had an unsettling encounter while exploring the waters off Campbell River in British Columbia. As she was touring the seafloor, a curious giant Pacific octopus closed in and wrapped its massive tentacles around her camera. At first, she was stunned by the sudden grip, describing the suction as unlike anything she had ever experienced. The creature's immense strength was evident as it effortlessly twisted her camera away, almost as if it were toying with her. For a few tense moments, Andrea struggled to keep control, her heart racing as the octopus pulled her closer with surprising force. Fellow divers watched nervously, knowing that even playful behavior from such a giant could quickly spiral into danger. Though the octopus didn't display aggressive behavior, this interaction serves as a reminder of the power and danger of these creatures. Giant Pacific octopuses can have arm spans of up to 30 feet, and their hard beak-like mouths can deliver powerful bites. In addition, the octopus can inject venom into wounds, adding to the risk. Their suction cups are incredibly strong, making it difficult to remove them if they latch onto you or your equipment, increasing the potential for dangerous situations. While unprovoked attacks on humans are rare, this close call shows just how unsettling these cephalopods can be. After seeing what happened to Humphreys' camera, it's safe to say I'll be keeping my distance from any curious octopi. Number 4. The Holink Lake Shark Statue. Holink Lake in Oregon plays host to one of the most unsettling shark statues you'll ever encounter. At 18 feet long, this plastic sculpture of a great white may not be as lifelike as its cryal counterpart, but it's no less terrifying. Locals claim that when the fog rolls in over the lake, the outline of the shark emerges first, creating the illusion of a real predator breaking the surface. Children dare each other to swim close to it, but few actually do, unnerved by its looming shadow beneath the water. Some fishermen say they've lost their catches near the statue, convinced the fish themselves avoid the area as if instinctively fearful of the predator's form. Over the years, urban legends have grown around it, stories of midnight swimmers who panicked when they brushed against the statue in the dark, believing it was alive. Tourists have described the unsettling feeling of being watched, their eyes drawn again and again to the statue's glassy stare. The way light refracts off its teeth at dusk makes it seem to glisten like real enamel, further fueling the eerie effect. Even seasoned divers have admitted that approaching it underwater feels like stepping into a horror film, their hearts racing as if danger was imminent. Because the waters are often murky, the shark doesn't always appear until you're frighteningly close, making the encounter even more unnerving. For locals, the statue has become something of a twisted attraction, a reminder of how art can manipulate fear in such a visceral way. Surrounded by the lake's murky green waters, the statue seems to embody our primal fears of the ocean's dark, unknown depths. The murky waters combined with the oversized teeth and rough texture of the shark play on our imagination, creating an almost supernatural effect that makes it look like something out of a nightmare. In an environment where visibility is poor, the ominous figure of the shark feels far more real than it should. Number 3. The Greenland shark. Let me introduce you to one of the most mysterious and ancient creatures of the deep, the Greenland shark. This massive predator can grow up to 23 feet long and weigh over a ton, moving at a pace so slow it's almost eerie. It lurks in the frigid depths of the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans, where it thrives thanks to cold temperatures and a sluggish metabolism. The real kicker: the Greenland shark may live for more than 500 years, meaning some of these creatures could have been swimming around while Henry VIII was busy with his matrimonial adventures. Scientists have even suggested that some of the older individuals alive today might have witnessed events like the rise of the Ottoman Empire or the voyages of Christopher Columbus. Because of its extreme longevity, each shark becomes a living archive of ocean history, silently gliding through centuries of change. Researchers studying its eye-lens proteins discovered chemical markers that allowed them to calculate age, confirming its almost supernatural lifespan. These sharks are rarely seen by humans, adding to their mystery, as they prefer the dark, freezing waters thousands of feet below the surface. When they do surface or are caught by accident, their ghostly presence and slow, lumbering movements leave an unforgettable impression. For Arctic communities, the Greenland shark has become both a symbol of survival and a reminder of the ocean's unforgiving nature. The shark's long lifespan is partly due to the cold waters preserving it, but its age-old zombie-like appearance is further amplified by an eye parasite that leaves many of these sharks virtually blind. To add another twist, the shark's flesh is highly toxic to mammals, containing trimethylamine N-oxide, a compound that helps it withstand extreme cold, water pressure, and bacterial infections. Yet in Iceland, its meat is prepared in a very specific way, fermented to reduce its toxicity, where it's enjoyed by locals despite its pungent, bitter flavor, likened to strong blue cheese. Quite the acquired taste, wouldn't you say? Number 2. The stargazer fish. You might think you're safe in shallow waters, but think again. Meet the stargazer fish, a terrifying creature that blends perfectly with the ocean floor. There are about 50 species of stargazers found both in deep and shallow waters around the world. These fish have a unique way of hiding themselves. They bury their bodies in the sand and wait patiently for prey to swim by. Some species of stargazers even lure in their victims by wiggling a worm-like appendage above their heads, mimicking the movements of prey. When something gets close, the stargazer strikes, creating a vacuum with its mouth that sucks in its prey. These fish may not be large, with most species growing no bigger than 18 inches, but they still pose a threat. Stargazers are equipped with venomous spines on their backs that can inject excruciating pain into anyone unlucky enough to step on them. In addition, they can deliver mild electrical shocks similar to an electric eel, making them a true danger in the water. So, next time you dip your toes into the ocean, think twice. Stargazers could be lurking below. Number 1. The mystery of the Great Blue Hole. While black holes in space are among the most fascinating and terrifying phenomena in the universe, there's a counterpart right here on Earth that's equally as daunting. Deep in the Caribbean Sea lies the Great Blue Hole, a massive marine sinkhole near Lighthouse Reef, Belize. Formed during the last ice age, this enormous chasm is over 1,000 feet wide and 410 feet deep. Though its vast emptiness is unsettling on its own, It's what lies beneath the surface that makes the Great Blue Hole truly chilling. In 2018, a team of explorers led by Richard Branson descended into the hole to map its interior. As they went deeper, the marine life around them dwindled, and by 300 feet, they reached a thick layer of toxic hydrogen sulfide, which has blocked oxygen from reaching the lower depths. At the bottom, they found the eerie remains of crabs, conchs, and other creatures that had fallen in, unable to escape the lack of oxygen. Even more disturbing, they discovered the bodies of 2 divers who had vanished years before. Their deaths may have been caused by nitrogen narcosis, a condition that can occur at great depths, where the nitrogen in a diver's air supply begins to dissolve into their bloodstream, impairing judgment and causing a state similar to intoxication. In such an environment, divers can easily become disoriented and make fatal mistakes. The Great Blue Hole is a reminder that the ocean's depths can be just as dangerous as any fiery abyss in the cosmos. Are you feeling more afraid of the sea after watching this, or did it make you less fearful? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.